Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Keefe. In today's video, we're going over why you need to stop playing the same game that every other man is playing. Now, before we get into that, I made this channel to build better men. So if you're a guy who's looking to level up his life, become a high-value man and a positive influence on the world, hit the subscribe button and bell icon. I put out new videos every single day to help you do exactly that. So let's get into the video. So to start this off, we must understand that what the 99% of men are doing is failing, okay? I'm gonna tell you a story. One time I had a job door knocking for a political group. I was canvassing politically, and I was in this subdivision, nice houses, probably like $350,000 houses, 4-bed, 3,000 square foot type of joints, it's like average, like upper middle class looking houses, right? You'd think like, okay, these people are doing something right? So I go to the door, it's probably like 2 o'clock, sunny day, knock the door. Guy comes to the front door in like a Hanes white t-shirt, like doesn't look like he's bathed. The curtains are drawn in the house, right? And it's just, you can look at this from this perception. Like when I spoke to the guy, it's like, he doesn't look like he's really got his crap together. And he's like a lot of other people who live in this middle class lifestyle, right? And look, there's a lot of people who are doing really well in this lifestyle, and he might make a bunch of money, but just that immediate perception I got drew to me the realization that it doesn't take much in our society to basically survive, right? Our society is set up so that the weak links don't fall off the bandwagon, basically. And maybe it should be that way, right? Like, I have empathy for the fact that people go through things, and, not everybody's meant to be this crazy driven person who goes after things. So I can understand the idea that we don't want everybody living in poverty and things like that, but just understanding that our society is set up in a way so that it is very easy to, despite your life not really being put together very well, right? Like, it's set up in a way that you could have the curtains drawn on a weekday at 2 o'clock, still in your pajamas, and you're still living in a $350,000 4-bed house, right? And so again, the society is set up so that you can put on the appearance that things are going well, but behind the appearance, what you find out is that most people are living through a total disaster. I'm about to hit you with some facts. The average American is $91,000 in debt, and most of them only have one source of income on top of that. So if they lost that, they're screwed. How are you going to pay off that debt? 50% or more of marriages end in divorce, okay? Single parent households are the biggest cause of children going to prison, dropping out of high school, things like that. It's not a good system, right? 37% of men are obese in America, right? So you see all these things and you realize, like, most people are on the verge of disaster, but the system, again, is set up so that these people can get by. The system gives them enough money so they can afford to not be on the street. The system basically just keeps them away from complete desperation and decay. But the thing is, what happens if one thing goes wrong in that situation? For example, obesity leads to health problems. So let's say you're an obese guy, you're one of the 37% in America, and you have a heart problem and you need surgery done, and that surgery is going to cost $100,000. Okay, so you're already $91,000 in debt with a single income source, most likely. This is just like, that kind of thing breaks people. They can't afford it, right? You hear about people having to sell their houses and things like that to pay for cancer treatments, right? Because again, they're not in this spot where they're in that category where everything's going well, because most people, they're surviving by hanging onto a thread. This is why when a coronavirus comes around and they lock down the economy and nobody can work and they have to, suddenly everybody needs a free check from the government because nobody was prepared for anything to go bad in their lives, right? Nobody had savings. Everyone was in debt, maxing out credit cards because they were hoping that everything would just keep going well. So the moment one thing went bad, people started losing everything. They couldn't afford to keep their businesses open. And again, I have empathy for this, right? I've certainly made my share of mistakes, but the idea is, don't aspire to what the 99% are doing. You need to aspire to what the 1% are doing. And I want to be clear, the 1% isn't this idea of people who are just born different and it's a club that only 1% of people can get into. I really think 1% is simply the people who make different choices. I think everybody could be in the 1%. I want you to be in the 1%. I want that 1% to go from 1% to 10% to 100%, because the world will be a hell of a lot better if it does. So the question to ask yourself is, what is the average person doing that's putting them $91,000 in debt, usually divorced, usually overweight, and working a job that's paying a paycheck so they can pay for the things that they're in debt to, and they don't even like the job? What put these people in this situation so that you can avoid that? And the answer is they drift. Understand, when it comes to drifting, this idea means that you weren't focused on anything, right? You weren't clear on where you were going, so you drifted in life, right? We've all been here, right? When we're not super motivated to do something, things start to get kind of lax. Understand that nobody gets to a spot where they're in debt and they're working a job they're not happy with and they're out of shape and their marriage has collapsed or they're just not even happy with the relationships they have. Nobody gets to that place by design, right? You get there because you never thought about what it is you wanted to have in your life and you never committed to going after it. A good analogy to this is forest fires that happen in California, right? They like to blame it on global warming, but the truth is there's way thicker forests in Europe that don't have these problems. The reason that the fires happen in California, forest fires, is because they have bad forest management. They leave all these trees laying on the ground of the forest and they become like kindling just waiting to burn. And your life is like these forest fires, okay? If you don't keep maintenance on it, you don't keep focusing on what it is you're trying to have, the natural state of things is decay. So your life is going to turn into this giant forest fire if you don't actively work on maintaining it. And again, most people don't do this. They're not focused on it, right? Just imagine if you literally, even for a year, you did no maintenance on your house. Like, your house would be in disarray. You'd have mildew coming up the side of the house that you need to get it pressure washed. I'm sure there'd be some plumbing or electrical issue, right? And that issue would fester into something else. And everything starts to do this, right? Or if you never clean, there'd just be dust and hair all over the floors and stuff. Like, you can see this obviously in the things that you own, right? If you don't take care of the things you own, they decay. Well, your life is yours. You own that life in a sense, but people don't actively aim to keep it out of decay, and therefore it decays. Understand that the only way to get a different result from this decay, from this drifting reality where life kind of just hands you a bag of shit and you don't really have an active plan to get anywhere different, is you have to create in your mind a vision for what you'd rather have, and you have to be willing to move towards it. I firmly believe that the only difference between the 1% and the 99% is that the 1% know what they want, they've thought about it, and then they're willing to do what is needed to get it. These people want to be healthy, so what they do is they go out and they follow an exercise routine. They eat right? Because they have an image of what they'd prefer. These people want to work a job or have a business that they enjoy, and they want to make the money that gives them financial freedom. So they're disciplined and they make smart financial decisions in accordance with that vision, right? Like, if you haven't put that vision up of what you want your life to be like, it makes total sense to go spend your whole check on Amazon crap that gets shipped to your house. And it makes total sense to eat donuts if you haven't thought about the body you really want to have and the health life you really want to have. And it makes total sense how people end up getting divorced, because what they do is the first girl that gives them attention, they get into a relationship with and marry. Whereas if you actually think and get clear about what it is I want out of the woman I'm going to spend my life with, I bet that situation will happen a lot less. And you'll also start to ask yourself that question in that situation of, what will she want out of me? How can I be that kind of man, right? And you start to ask these questions because you had a different vision. When you don't have that vision up, the world just kind of keeps telling you what you're going to have. So this is how it works, right? Let's say you're like 20 years old, you're in college because that's what people told you to do. And again, I'm not knocking college. Maybe you've got a good reason to be in college, but a lot of people are in college because the world just said that's what you need to do. So then they come out of college, they're already in debt like we talked about, and maybe they got a girlfriend while they're in college, and the girlfriend starts pressing them to get married. They don't really know if they want to marry the girl, but they end up marrying her because that's what she wants, right? So now you're in this relationship that you might not be that happy with, but it was the first girl who really showed you attention and you didn't want to lose her, so you married her. You're in debt. You probably don't have a job that you really like because you didn't really think about that your whole time. You just kept doing what everyone else told you to do. And what happens is your life just keeps degenerating, right? Your health starts going downhill. All these different things happen, and it happened because you didn't actively think about what you really wanted to have. Again, I firmly believe that you can have it all. You can have the body, you can have the money, you can have the great relationship, you can feel like a great man, you can do all these things, but you have to commit to the vision and you have to commit to the actions that get you to that vision, and most people simply won't do it. And that's what the secret of the 1% is. Being a 1% man is about simply making different decisions. It's not about you were born genetically better than people, or you're smarter, or you were handed the silver spoon. It is simply about the decisions you make. So I encourage you guys to make better decisions. Make decisions that lead you to the place in your life you want to be so that you don't spend your life unhappy, so that you feel fulfilled. And guys, if you want to work with me to become that guy, you want to learn how to get on that purpose, get that vision, and create the things you want in your life, the money, the women, the body, the internal state of feeling like a great man and really having that purpose and confidence in your life, my Better Man coaching program has a few spots left. I'm taking on these one-on-one clients. If you're interested in learning more about the program, you can schedule a free consultation in the description box below. I look forward to speaking with you at that time. Guys, if you got something out of this video, give me a like so I can reach more guys through the algorithm. Hit the bell icon and subscribe button so you don't miss new videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later.